This is the Frugal Gardener, and today, for the first time, I'm going super frugal. Let's get to it. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I have two quick questions for you guys. The first one is, can you grow vegetables in a box? Now, the answer is clearly yes. A lot of people don't. There's a bunch of reasons for it. Clearly I do. I've done this before. So my second question is, what am I growing? This is about 2.5 weeks worth of growth. I deliberately overplanted this because I wanted to make a point that you can use boxes. In this case, this is the double box. And the reason why I say super frugal is because you can start a mini vegetable garden using boxes. There's a second one here. Using boxes for $1. $1, 4 boxes, 4 different vegetables. It could be flowers, doesn't have to be vegetables. And my question to you is, again, what's growing here? I'll give you a hint. It's only been growing for a short period of time. Put your guesses, your comments, you might know what it is. Here's a close-up in the comments. Tell me what you think is growing here. And next week, I'll turn this label around and I'll show you what it is. This is cut and come again, which means that once this gets a certain height and I cut it, it will continue to grow. So I will get multiple cuts from this one vegetable. So you know it's a vegetable, you know how long it's been growing, and you know that I have, you know that I've planted this recently. Now, stay tuned, because towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys a bonus tip on how to save money. Even if you don't use this method, you will still be able to save a significant amount of money using this tip that I'm going to give you guys. Now, as I like to say in the beginning of my videos, I'm the Frugal Gardener. I garden in the hills of West Virginia. That's in Zone 7A. I'm on a 4.5 acre homestead. I garden on 1/4 of an acre. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. This is not my first time growing in a box. As a matter of fact, I grew carrots a couple of years ago, and I'm starting to find out that I'm not the only one. So a couple of people have now messaged me or commented and said that they have also grown in boxes. So I don't know if this is a growing trend or not, but the obvious reason is because boxes are free. And this is something that I think is basically underutilized. So what I'm going to do is show you, I'm going to talk about 4 reasons why I think that you guys should use this method. And one is, if you have grandchildren, sons, granddaughters, or maybe even your children, this is a good project, good bonding project to introduce them into gardening. I recommend that you double box these. You don't have to. The key is not to overwater. The key is not to try and flood this out. If you just put enough water in it to keep it hydrated, you don't want to soak out the bottom. So it's a very simple thing to do. And the reason why I say super frugal is because what are we paying for here? I mean, of course you're going to need soil, but before man came along and built highways and cities and asphalt roads, the earth was basically trees and bushes and dirt. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you where to go to get your free soil, but all around you, there is all sorts of trees and parks and places that have tons and tons of soil, and I'm sure they won't miss a bucket or two, but you find your own resources. I actually use uh, uh, basically plant mix that I had around the house already, so I didn't have to go very far. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I have clay soil. I complain about it all the time, so I have to bring in soil because I'm growing a fairly large garden as opposed to something this small. So number one is this is a nice project to do with your grandchildren. Number two, if you're retired, this is a decent hobby. This is something that you can do in your spare time, something that you can watch day after day. I do not keep these outside for obvious reasons. We had a wind/rain. Well, the rain wasn't a storm. We did have heavy winds. It was the first test of my greenhouse. It held up really well. But we did have rain. You don't want this to get wet. I keep this, by the way, this is the first time that I've actually brought this outside, these outside, plural. I'm showing you two. I actually have more than two, which I'm going to show you the third one, hence the term that I'm using, that you can have a mini box vegetable garden. That's a mouthful, because you can add as many of these as you like, because the boxes are free. The soil is free. And I'll get to the nutrients soon, but I'm going to give you reason number three. Reason number three is obviously to save money. I've done a couple of videos recently about how much the prices of vegetables and fruits, I mean, just shopping in general, going to the supermarket, groceries are outrageous now. So this is a way to offset your budget. There's a food insecurity problem with seniors. I mean, I was shocked. I looked this up, and it said that there are 7 million seniors in the United States that have inadequate food. It doesn't mean they have no food. It means that they don't have enough to sustain themselves, enough to sit down for, I guess, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and be full with nutritious food. So this is a way to offset that. That's not going to cost you a lot of money. So you can grow in these boxes with seeds that cost you a quarter. And this is the reason why I said $1, that you can grow your mini vegetable garden in boxes for $1. Because if the soil is free and the boxes are free, I mean, you have unlimited boxes that you go to any corner store or Walmart or Kroger, Piggly Wiggly, whatever's in your neighborhood, Food Lion, and get free boxes. So basically, the only thing you need is water and nutrients, and I'm going to cover that also. So I'll switch things around a little bit. This is now where I move the second box down to bring out the third one, because this is a little different. If your boxes are not the size you want them to be, you can adjust them. If you have some tape laying around the house, I'm not saying go out and buy tape, but this is tape that I had. And basically, in the first two, I pushed the flaps inside to give it extra strength. On this one, I basically, again, this is the double box method, but instead of putting the flaps on the outside, on the inside, I put them on the outside, and I just tape them on the inside and on the outside, and I'm growing something in here. And by the way, I'm going to be doing updates. So right now, there's not much going on here. This was 3 days ago, and this is actually older than this. So, I mean, all vegetables do not grow at the same pace. So you're going to see the transformation, the progress, the progression over the next couple of weeks. This is going to be a mini series, and you're going to end up seeing the end result when I start harvesting these for whatever use, whatever use I am growing these for, because these are not the same. I guess you can probably tell from these two here, and this one is totally different than these two here. And I am going to add a fourth one. Why? Because I can. Because again, 4 containers, 4 boxes, $1. And I'm going to show you right now why I keep saying $1. So here we are. These are seeds that I have purchased from the dollar store, and sometimes you can catch them at big box stores like Walmart, and you can clearly see each one of these that I have selected were 4 for $1. This one was even 20 cents. So, if you look around, you can get yourself a bargain on these seeds. Now, obviously, you're not going to grow watermelon and cantaloupe in a box this size. It is, I guess, possible if you use a larger box. Where I'm going here is that the roots are going to be long and deep, so you have to be practical. I mean, things like peas and bush beans and sage, I would say cherry tomatoes could also fit in that category. You have to basically do a minimum amount of research to figure out what you can grow in what size container, in this case, box, that you have. This is not everything. This is what I have on hand. So there it is. It's 4 for $1, 25 cents a piece. There's your 4 boxes. This is going to be my 4th box. I'm thinking about something larger. So I may not use this box. When you see box number 4 in my garden, I haven't decided whether to do a number 5 or not, but when you see a box number 4 in my garden, it may not be this one. It may be something closer to this, but I'm deliberately picking different sizes so you guys can have an idea of what kind you might want to choose if you decide to go this route. Like I said, this is one way of cutting on your food bill. This is something that you can do if you are retired, something you can do with your grandchildren. I said I would give you 4 reasons. I gave you 3. Number 4 is nutritional value. Most of the stuff in supermarkets I read an article the other day that said something like 70% of tomatoes come from out of the United States. And it wasn't just the tomatoes. There's a lot of stuff that we import from other countries here. And I'm not going to get into the weeds on the chemicals, the preservatives, the pesticides, the herbicides, and all things that are used in this stuff. So by growing your own, obviously you're omitting all that stuff. You don't need to put all that stuff in your food. So that makes it healthier. So that's reason number 4. Now, I promise you guys a tip, but I'm going to give you this money saving tip, but I still also promise you information on how you can add nutrients to these without spending money. So here we are. If I were to ask you what do these bags have in common, you probably wouldn't be able to guess. Well, the answer is I bought all these in bulk. These are bush bean seeds that I am still using. These bush beans I brought back in June the 7th, 2023. How do I know? I looked it up last night because I knew I was going to do this video. June. I could take you over and show you where I'm harvesting beans right now from this bag that I purchased going on 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago. Now, the reason why that's possible is because I put my seeds in the refrigerator, sometimes in the freezer. There's a seed vault somewhere, I think in Antarctica, that basically has thousands and thousands of different types of seeds that they're saving in case of some sort of disaster. In the back here, this is red Russian kale. This is also something that I brought back in, well, September the 8th, 2023. In front of that, this is my lavender that I brought in November. Apparently, I bought a lot of these in 2023. This was the first lavender that I brought. I just recently brought a new one, and these seeds are still viable. They're still germinating. So why, you ask, am I suggesting that you buy seeds in bulk? Several reasons. One, it's cheaper. If you notice, if you garden on a regular basis, you'll notice that the number of seeds in these small packages are getting less and less. So by buying in bulk, you're saving, if you look at it, per ounce. The second reason is because the prices keep going up. The prices are going up on food and furniture and everything else with the tariffs. Then the price of seeds is going to go up. It's just logical that the price of seeds is going to go up also. So next thing you're going to say is, why do I need so many seeds? Well, you may not use all these seeds in a year, 2 years, 3 years, but I share my seeds. I share my seeds with the frugal daughter. I share my seeds with the frugal nephew. And why not? If I have extra and I'm basically getting a bargain on them, the ones that I don't use, I share. And we don't know if there are going to be seed shortages in the future. If you remember back a long time ago, I'm kidding, it wasn't a long time ago, back to the pandemic, people were literally fighting over seeds. They were putting limitations on seeds. There were seed shortages, and I didn't have that problem. This is a small fraction of the amount of seeds that I have. So by buying these in bulk and putting them in the refrigerator, just make sure they stay, dry, and that's keeping them out of the light, that's keeping them out of the moisture, that's keeping them out of the heat, and that's basically the trifecta. That's what you need in order to keep your seeds. Now, you are going to lose a percentage. I believe the ratio is the germination rate is going to drop off by 10% a year. That's a rough average. And so even if you start out with 95%, 98%, 90%, and you drop off to 80% the following year, then you're really not losing that much. So that brings me to my final point. The last thing I said I was going to show you guys is how you fertilize these. Well, I've done several videos. Matter of fact, I'm going to do an updated video, and in that video, I'm going to link to all the previous videos that I've done showing you how to process eggshells, which I did another one recently, showing you how to use coffee grounds, showing you how to use banana peels. There's your potassium. The eggshells is calcium. And basically what you're going to do with the banana peels, I'm not going to go into this now because this is about how you can use these boxes, but I don't like to make videos that are too long. I know you guys are busy, have a lot to do. So I'm going to do this in a separate video. Like I said, I'm going to post the links to how you can make your own banana peels, how to make use of the coffee grounds, the eggshells, and also compost. I've done 2 or 3 videos on composting, which everybody should be doing already. If you're new to gardening or if you've gotten away from composting, now with the prices the way they are, you don't want to throw anything away that can be composted. So that's also something I'm going to cover in the next video, something that you can use that will help you to grow your box vegetable garden without costing you any money. And the last thing is something that a lot of people don't know about, and that's biochar. I've done a couple of videos on biochar. I'm going to link to that in the new video, in another video. It may not be the next video. So you might want to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit the notification bell so that when that video hits, you'll know what biochar is. You'll know how to make it. You'll know how to use it along with everything else. So that takes care of the nutrients. But there's one more thing, and that is water. I have, my water system is off grid. I don't pay anybody for water, the city, the county. I have a 2,500 gallon tank, and I have some other water storage systems around here. You've seen my troughs. They hold roughly 175 gallons each. And I have a bladder that holds 527 gallons. And I have barrels. So altogether, I have the capability of storing 4,000 gallons of water. So I'm good. Now, you might not have all that. So basically, if you put out a rain barrel, or if you just have one catchment system coming down your downspout, then you're going to get free water, which is actually better because it's not treated, doesn't have chemicals in it. And basically, that is what you can use to water your garden, your mini garden, your mini box garden. So that's why I said this is the super frugal gardener, this episode, because if you're getting free nutrients, free water, free soil, free containers, and you're paying 25 cents for a pack of seeds, then again, you can't get any cheaper than that. So hopefully one of these 4 reasons will motivate you to at least experiment with something like this. Like I said, either with the grandchildren, or as a hobby, or to save money, or just to have healthier, better food with less chemicals. So that's it for today, guys. I'm not going to hold you any longer. I am the Frugal Gardener. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your continued support. I have several regulars who I'm also going to mention in a few episodes, because I appreciate everything that you guys do and your comments. Don't forget to comment on what you think is growing in here. And hey, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Remember what I always tell you: when you grow your own food, you always know where it comes from. See you guys on the next video in a couple of days. Go out, get some boxes, and grow something.